Today I'm going to be showing you how I was almost tricked into reviewing this HyperX microphone, thinking it was the real deal, but as far as I can tell, it's actually a fake. This isn't really the sort of video I wanted to make, but it might be a good learning experience for me, and if it helps someone else in the process, then it's probably worth it. So I almost reviewed this product and probably would have encouraged people to buy it, not knowing that this is actually probably a fake, or at least according to HyperX. Now, I'm glad this has happened because that would feel really bad recommending people to buy a product and it's not even the real thing. We all make mistakes, especially us reviewers. Sometimes we get details wrong in videos, or maybe we don't test something thoroughly enough to find a problem with it that's always going to be there. So let me explain what happened or give you a quick overview. So as I normally do, I was working with AliExpress and I had some review credit left over, and I decided to order this product and review it for you guys. It wasn't a pre-approved review. The review credit is sitting in my account and I can use it to get products at a discounted price or sometimes completely for free to review it and to share a video. Now this one I got discounted because I didn't have enough review credit to get it completely for free, so I ended up paying £13 of my own money, which is not really a lot. On AliExpress's website, this product was listed under their Brand Plus scheme, which as far as I'm aware kind of gives you an extra guarantee that the product is genuine and not fake. So that gave me a bit of confidence, even though the price was a little bit cheaper, as I've often bought things from AliExpress personally and other kind of Chinese wholesalers and never really had issues with them arriving or knowing that they were fakes or anything like that. In fact, recently I reviewed another of HyperX's products, which was some headphones, and as far as I can tell, they're real and I've had no problems with them. But the way I discovered that this product is probably fake was that it wouldn't work with HyperX's Ingenuity's software. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but no matter what I tried, I couldn't get the microphone to register in their software, and it was starting to annoy me because I thought, if this is one of HyperX's official products, surely they could get it to work with a piece of software, or at least just register this even there. And I gave up eventually and actually messaged HyperX directly and went through their live chat program. I did also email them as well and basically got the same answer. But after sharing the barcode with them for this product, they said it wasn't one of their products. So as far as I can tell, this is a fake. And it's quite disappointing. Now, I don't really know who to kind of point the finger at, and I'm not really going to do that in this video because I can't really prove anything. Now, I want to share some of my review that I did for this with you guys so you can see kind of how I was tricked, or at least I just didn't know this was a fake product. And I'm going to show you some of the unboxing and kind of how I reacted to it, because as I say, I didn't know the product was fake at that time, and I've not really had a lot of experience with HyperX products, so faking a product is not really the hardest thing to do. As long as it looks reasonably good, then it's probably going to fool a lot of people, including me when I don't really have a lot of experience with the products. So I've actually thrown away the box of this and I no longer have it, but I can show you, as I said, the original unboxing, just to show you kind of what it was like and what the product looked like. I'll also try and get some slightly better pictures or close-ups of the microphone so you can see what it looks like. And I'd be really interested to know if any of you have had a similar experience with HyperX products where you found out they were fake. I'd be very interested to learn a little bit more about it. So I'm now going to jump and show you some of the clips that were supposed to be from my original review. And of course, while I've been talking, I've also been recording straight to this microphone so you can see what the quality is like as well. You have to bear in mind this has come all the way from China, and it wasn't in a hard box either. It was in one of those like plastic wrap packaging, so I'm not really surprised it's a bit banged up. I do like the presentation of the box. A lot of HyperX's products are pretty well packaged. I like the style and the color design of them. It looks professional, and it's got a lot of the features listed on here, so this is great if you're picking this up as a gift for someone. But let's get it unboxed and take a closer look at it. Okay, I've destroyed the box even more. So we got a user manual in here and some other bits as well. Put them to the side. Quite a long cable. Hopefully this is USB-C, I think it is. Yep, so we got a USB-C cable and then normal USB style at the other end. Let's take a look at the microphone. Quite a simplistic design, but I do like it, unsurprisingly, as all of my PC setup is basically black. So any of you who've seen my videos, you won't be surprised that I like this. It's pretty stealthy. We got a little LED light on the front here, HyperX logo, which I kind of like. And we got our metal grill here on the top. It does come with a little stand, as you can see. I will be mounting this on my boom arm that I've already got on my computer. But it has quite a decent weight to it. Feels and looks pretty nice quality. And we got our touch capacitive button on the top for muting the microphone. But yeah, let's go ahead and get this plugged in and we will test it out. Now we are going to do a little test between the SoloCast HyperX microphone and my older studio microphone I've got here with the light on. Everything you're going to hear is recorded to the HyperX SoloCast, and I'm going to record into my video editing software to do a little test. Now sometimes with microphones, if they don't have a gain control, which the HyperX SoloCast doesn't, you can sometimes get a really low audio level and then you have to kind of boost it in post, and this can sometimes cause issues. So since this doesn't have a gain control, we're going to do a little test here to make sure we don't have any of those types of issues. So let's do that now. Today we are testing the HyperX SoloCast microphone to test its quality and noise levels. So let's play this back. Today we are testing the HyperX SoloCast microphone to test its quality and noise level. Okay, DaVinci Resolve cut off that last bit there for some reason, but it is actually there. And noise levels. Okay, so you could of course boost this if you want to. Today we are testing the HyperX SoloCast microphone to test its quality and noise levels. You'll notice it's picking up my clicks as well, and in something like DaVinci Resolve you could quite easily remove that with the voice isolation feature. So let's play it back a little bit cleaned up. Today we are testing the HyperX SoloCast microphone to test its quality and noise levels. So you can kind of still hear the click there a little bit, but I could simply boost up the voice isolation. But let's test out my other microphone. So we'll put down the HyperX. We are now doing a sound comparison between the HyperX SoloCast and this random studio microphone. So let's play this back. We are now doing a sound comparison between the HyperX SoloCast and this random studio microphone. Today we are testing the HyperX SoloCast microphone to test its quality and noise levels. We are now doing a sound comparison between the HyperX SoloCast and this random studio microphone. Testing the HyperX SoloCast. So there's not as much of a difference between them as I expected, but I definitely prefer the HyperX's sound profile. It just sounds a little bit crisper and cleaner, but it's quite subtle. Now this might be less obvious or more obvious if you've got like higher grade headphones on than me. YouTube's going to do its compression, so that's also going to have an impact on how much detail you can notice between these two. But I'd be interested to know how much of a difference can you guys notice between these microphones. But now we've done this little test, I'm gonna mount this on the boom arm and see if that makes any difference as well, because for example, if you have any tapping or anything going on, or let's say you're hitting your keyboard, pressing a bunch of buttons, that can also vibrate into the microphone, and then having it on the boom arm can help remove that. So we'll do some little tests there as well. Alright, you're definitely going to want to watch this part, because I'm going to show you quite a few little things I've discovered with this microphone that might be helpful to you. So the first is, in DaVinci Resolve, I noticed that it wouldn't pick up the microphone unless I was using these settings. And the first one is kind of normal, so a lot of the times DaVinci Resolve can be a bit weird if you don't have your input format to 16-bit 48,000 Hertz. I'm not great with audio, I'm not like an audio expert, so I'm not going to pretend to tell you exactly why, but for some reason if I change this, it messes up in DaVinci Resolve. But also the window audio enhancements, if you turn this on, it will detect the microphone, but it won't detect any audio. So you can see how this bar is moving and it's detecting me talking. The moment you turn that on, it seems to break this, and then you have to turn it off again and restart DaVinci Resolve. So just bear that in mind. While we're recording here though, let's do a few more tests with tapping the table to see if it's picked up on the microphone. Now we have it on the boom arm, it should handle vibration and tapping a little bit better. This is a cheap boom arm that I'm using, so if you get like a more expensive one which has kind of some more dampening in it, or it's more sturdy, it might be less susceptible to vibration. This is just a bit of a cheaper one I've got, but it's lasted quite well and been useful. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to use this microphone for a few days on Discord and some chat rooms and stuff, and then I will come back to you at the end and just let you know my overall experience with the audio quality of this microphone and what I think of it. But hopefully so far some of the tests I've given you have been a little bit helpful. So now I've shown you those clips. I hope this video has been helpful to you in some way. If there's any experiences you've had yourself or anything you would like to let me know which might help me for future cases on spotting fakes, especially with HyperX products or maybe others, maybe this is something you're more experienced in than I'm not, be sure to leave a comment, because I will try and read all of them, and I'm interested to learn more about this process and how to maybe protect myself and other people in future when I'm sharing reviews. And yeah, just let me know what you think of the video. Was it helpful to you? If you liked it, leave a thumbs up, and if you're new here, please consider subscribing for more videos like this one. And of course, I will see you in the next one.